Montserrat, St. Bart's, Anguilla, St. Vincent, our nearest neighbors, and then I would hail up as well the folks joining us in the Dominican Republic. Good morning to each and every one of you, and those of you tuned in internationally, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Hope you will have a good day, are having a good day, have had a good day. Let me name 5 international countries. Let's see, let's name Australia. We're going to say good morning to the folks in Nigeria. We're going to hail up the people in Austria, as well as the people in Afghanistan, and the folks tuned in Canada. 5 Caribbean countries, 5 international countries. Waking up the brain on a Monday. Let's do this. It's time for this morning's word of the day. A beautiful day. This morning's word of the day is attitudinize. Attitudinize. It's spelled Attitudinize. Attitudinize. It's a verb which means to assume an affected mental attitude. The word attitude was first used in the 17th century to refer to the way a sculptured or painted figure was positioned, that is, to its posture. The word was borrowed from French, which had taken the word from Italian attitudine, meaning aptitude. Eventually, the word moved from artistic representation to the real world, with attitude being also used for the postures a person might assume for a specific purpose or effect, by those purposes sincere or not. By the mid-18th century, the word attitudinarian had been coined to label those in the habit of practicing such attitudes, those we might also call poseurs. By the end of that same century, the word attitudinize was available for complaints about such behavior. This morning's word of the day, attitudinize, Attitudinize. It's a verb which means to assume an affected mental attitude. One example of the use of the word: she kept her position, she seemed absorbed in the view. Is she posing? Is she attitudinizing for my benefit? He asked himself. That's the word of the day, attitudinize. Attitudinize or attitudinize. Attitudinize, a verb which means to assume an affected mental attitude. When you take on an attitude, when you already make up your mind how you're going to behave, attitudinize. That's what you're doing. You're attitudinizing. Oh, that one long, boy, but it has its desired effect. It shows the attitude that you're about to implement. I kinda like it. I'm going to attitudinize today. Well, as usual. All right, this morning's thought of the day as you go about your marvelous, magnificent, soon-to-be memorable Monday. The biggest source of motivation are your own thoughts, so think big and motivate yourself to win. The biggest source of motivation are your own thoughts, so think big and motivate yourself to win. Keep pushing, keep trekking. Don't let anybody else give you the push that you need. Give it to yourself. Motivate yourself. Continue to empower yourself. Self-confidence, a positive attitude. Attitudinize yourself to continue doing what you're doing. Oh, gosh, telling me about me. All right, let me go. So the thought of the day: the biggest source of motivation are your own thoughts, so think big and motivate yourself to win. Motivate yourself. Tell yourself positive things. Think positively. All right, let's see what's celebrated today. Blossom inside and inside twice. Today it is napping day. Napping Day. I repeat, Napping Day. Happy Napping Day. Each year, Napping Day recognizes our need the following day following the return of daylight savings time. Not only does the observance encourage a nap, it reminds us that there's no shame in taking one either. Napping is actually scientifically proven to be better for you than coffee or energy drinks. So now you can feel less guilty about enjoying this not so guilty pleasure. You may have lost that extra hour in the day, but you can feel like you caught up on some sleep by celebrating the day in style. Say no more. Blossom is going to recognize it. So if when we come back at about 7:15, 7:20, only see me napping, don't hurt your head, don't stress. Blossom is simply observing Napping Day. You take it when you could get it. So don't be alarmed. don't be shocked in case I'm napping at 7:20 when we're supposed to be back on the television. Don't be surprised. Need to observe it. I can't tell you to observe it and not do so myself. So don't be surprised, okay? Which reminds me, napping day comes the day after daylight saving time returns. I remember during the winter season, November, December, parts of the North American countries go back an hour, as we say, and they're an hour behind us. Effective yesterday, they're now same time with us. So they've returned. They return to normal time, let's put it that way. So they're losing an extra hour effective yesterday, which is why I guess they need the napping day. So the shows that usually when it's hour 8 o'clock, it's their 7, and when it's hour 9, it's their 8 o'clock. The time is the time now, let's put it that way. So it's back to normal time for the North American countries. So that's why they have napping day, but that doesn't mean we can't celebrate it ourselves. I repeat, our inside and our inside twice. All right, let's see the information that I have to share. There we go. Right, so it was sometime last week that the Ministry of Health announced that we were at 0 active COVID-19 cases. A news release yesterday revealed that we now have 2 active COVID-19 cases. Information was not provided as to from whence they came, when they were confirmed, which country, and so on. Maybe we can get that information as the day progresses. But for now, we have 2 active COVID-19 cases. They are in self-isolation, according to the news release from the Ministry of Health. They are in self-isolation. So hopefully everything would go well. And those 2, let's see what happens. Okay, but for now, 2 active COVID-19 cases. Let's see how much information we can get about where they came from. Okay, and just by way of information, since March 2020 to yesterday, we have recorded 154 COVID-19 cases overall. 154. We're doing very well compared to other countries. Including some of our Caribbean neighbors. Grenada doing so thanks. All right. And just before we go to the break, it was announced last week that the funeral service for the late Elvin Nimrod, former Deputy Prime Minister Elvin Nimrod, was postponed from last week Friday because of some relatives that came for the funeral but were in self-quarantine. They were in quarantine because they came into the island. The new date for the funeral has been set, and the funeral will now take place tomorrow, God willing. As advised by government, the funeral service will take place on the sister Isle of Carriacou, which is his native island. And again, the new date for the funeral service of the late Elvin Nimrod is tomorrow, God willing. According to the information, the service will be held at the Lauriston Mini Stadium starting at 12 noon tomorrow, God willing. The service is expected to be carried on television and social media platforms. I will give you more information as to which stations as soon as I get the information. All right, now it is 15 minutes to 7 o'clock. Let's get ready for the morning edition of news. For those of you on radio and for those of you on our visual platforms, we bring you Week in Review. Good morning, Grenada, on a beautiful Monday morning. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.
As the world celebrated International Women's Day on March 8th, the plight of one woman is now being shared on the back of her sibling. Cognizant of the theme, Women in Leadership, Laurel Bain, the sister of Gemma Bain Thomas, sought to make her sister's plight known at the highest levels. Gerard Joseph has more on Mrs. Gemma Bain Thomas's continued fight for compensation benefits from the government of Grenada.
Gemma Bain Thomas has yet to receive a dime from the government of Grenada after the court awarded her compensation for being unconstitutionally removed from the public service. Serving as Secretary to the Cabinet up to 2014, the OECS Court of Appeal in 2017 declared that Mrs. Bain Thomas was unconstitutionally removed from her position and the public service. The OECS Court of Appeal ruled that she be compensated for the wrongful termination, while the High Court of Grenada in 2018 awarded awarded compensation for general and vindicatory damages. Laurel Bain, sister to Gemma Bain Thomas, has challenged and sought the support of UN Women Caribbean and the UN Office for Human Rights.
It is against the principle of women's empowerment, women's equity, and gender development. It is in this context that I decided to write on Women's Day. I think the treatment is inhumane. I think, in my opinion, it is wrong.
Bain tells GBN she chose this path due to a lack of response from the Accountant General, as well as a letter to the Prime Minister who oversaw the Ministry of Finance. Mrs. Gemma Bain Thomas confirms to GBN they are still awaiting a response to a counter-offer made in April 2019.
If I may say, at this point, I have liquidated all my savings that I saved over the 30 years that I worked at the credit union and in the bank in order to meet my financial obligations. So at the end of the day, all I'm doing is meeting financial obligations. I also have to pay all the taxes of the government.
Mrs. Gemma Bain Thomas says she is encouraged by the support from her family and friends in her fight for compensation. In the letter marking International Women's Day, a special appeal was made to the 7 women in Cabinet, Governor General Dame Cecilia Grenada, and other conscious-minded women. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
At this point, the COVID-19 pandemic has negatively affected just about every sector that contributes to Grenada's economy. Farmers and consumers of livestock are now faced with a shortage that creates a threat to food security on the island. Trelana Charles has the details.
Livestock farmers in Grenada have been acquiring animals from St. Vincent and the Grenadines for years to meet the high demands from the Grenadian public for fresh meat. However, the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic and the continued increase in COVID-19 cases in St. Vincent has taken a toll on business. Saturday morning, GBN's Maggie Market Vibes stopped by a butcher based in the Grenville Market. During the interview, the butcher, who goes by the name of Lindell, spoke about the current scarcity of livestock on the island.
So right now the animal kind of a low on us. Right. Getting scarce. Right. And the gentleman by the name of Jude, who now the company, but normally don't send him to bring in the animal. Really? Yeah. So you don't have animal in Grenada. Period. So next week please God, we don't show people going to be here selling it. Wow. Because COVID cannot move to St. Vincent right now. Right. And it's a lot of challenge for you to get out and get to go to St. Vincent.
He said with the shortage of animals for purchase in Grenada, it is difficult for farmers and butchers to make a living.
You see, when you used to get an animal to buy in Grenada, right, it was profitable. Because to leave here with the boat to go to St. Vincent, the boat is over 14,000. Right now, diesel price go up. Just the last time they had a chat with the boatman telling him it's going to be 20,000 to go. So right now, he in and up and a down right now are going. So that's why I tell you, this week we killed the last 3 pounds we had in. And we're hoping that by next week, please God, you get a word from them that we could leave the country to go to St. Vincent.
Lindell said it has been difficult for everyone involved, as they have tried in the past to receive a reduction of taxes on the importation of livestock with no success.
That started maybe in 2010, and then nobody never looked into it. You look for help, you look for things, nobody never really looked into it or anything like that. So right about now is a hard process we're going through right now.
And this is a conversation that you had with government officials.
What
has the response been like?
Well, no response has been given. Even when you reach to the jet, you could clear the animal. He asked for a waiver that you could pay something, in a way that everybody could be satisfied. But nothing like that can happen.
GBN attempted to contact the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture for a response on the issue, but was told he was in a meeting. Trelana Charles, GBN News.
President of the Grenada Olympic Committee, Royston Lahey, maintains no wrongdoing on the part of the GOC and its members, but says failure to justify unaccounted for funds will have repercussions for future financing. Jared Joseph has that story.
Specific documentation to prove where and for whom the funds were spent under the Olympic Solidarity programs is the basis for the ongoing situation within the Grenada Olympic Committee. President of the GOC, Royston Lahey, tells GBN the issue stemmed from 2017, where Price Waterhouse Barbados had done an audit of the funds received from the International Olympic Committee via its Olympic Solidarity program for the period 2013 to 2016. A preliminary report was sent to the GOC in 2017, citing areas where documentation was not sufficient.
2019 in November, we met with Olympic Solidarity, the General Secretary and myself, and they pointed out that they needed to bring this thing to a close. And they pointed out specific areas where we needed to give documentation.
The lack in documentation, Lahey says, was pinned on funds amounting to $542,000 in the first instance, then $402,000 when the GOC submitted further information. He says they have since provided more documentation and await a response from the IOC.
So we've had areas where we had a faulty reporting. Like we had areas where we gave the Tennis Association money to fund their Olympic Solidarity scholarship programs, and we're still waiting on them to give us some feedback as to the justification of the programs that we did, right? They know that we gave them money for programs, but they're trying to get the necessary documentation.
Shortfalls in the documentation, the GOC president says, were also witnessed in the Olympic Solidarity programs for foreign-based athletes. Lahey says if the GOC is not able to justify where the funds were spent, there will be repercussions for future financing.
So we would have to repay the money either by, what they probably would suggest, or what we suggest is funds that we get from IOC. Instead of paying a big lump sum, if it's $200,000, if they have funds for us for annual funds for whatever, we deduct it, in tranches and pay off not in a lump sum, because we don't have no money. We can't go to the bank to borrow, money to pay them. But
Sports Minister Yolambine Hosford, who was contacted by GBN for a comment, says she is satisfied with the press statement while awaiting the final audit. The GOC president says despite the resignation of members, the current executive will not step down with elections due to take place after the Olympics. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Former Agriculture Senator Keith Clouden has challenged the Grenada Association of Poultry Producers to take a stand against the ongoing monopoly Caribbean Agro-Industries has in animal feed. His base for that challenge is from his understanding that the agreement government has made with the company is illegal. By Thursday, Trade Minister Alvin Dabrio had supported such a suggestion, with the Poultry Association president giving a preliminary response, however asking government to treat the price increase issue with a level of urgency. We bring you Monday's exclusive.
As the country reels from the increases in animal feed and flour prices, former Agriculture Senator Keith Clouden has broken his silence to debunk the Caribbean Agro-Industries agreement with government as illegal. Clouden tells GBN in an exclusive interview that he has reiterated such claims in the past and is again doing so due to the latest developments.
This monopoly that they enjoy and have been enjoying for quite some time and continue to enjoy is illegal, because we, Grenada, that is, we are a signatory to the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, and that is community law, right? And once you are a signatory to that revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, it means that whatever domestic law you may enact, right, ought not to contravene, right, the provisions set out in the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas as we would have adhered to, be a signatory to.
The former senator says during his tenure in Parliament, he had called for the liberalization of the animal feed industry.
This is not no time to have a monopoly, one source of feed. Look at what happened just not too long ago, a few months last year or so, when they were unable to supply, right? Now, we don't want our farmers to be subjected to this sort of uncertainty because it impacts very negatively on their books, on their survival, right? And what has to happen is that this matter, right, having been talked about over the years, it is time now that we, or the association, the Poultry Farmers Association, take the issue before the Caribbean Court of Justice.
Clouden, who is a farmer by profession, addressing government's release on the issue, says government is only shedding crocodile tears. He is advising the Farmers Association to take the matter to the Caribbean Court of Justice, who has jurisdiction on such issues. Farmer Senator Roger St. Clair in January suggested the need to liberalize the industry.
We need to, the words were to unshackle, I think was the word, that's unshackle, from since 1976. That one is even further.
President of the Grenada Association of Poultry Producers, Jason Phillip, had confirmed to GBN that farmers had witnessed a 35% increase in production costs in addition to the price increases. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
The Grand Tang Lake is Grenada's largest freshwater reservoir that is used by NAWASA in the dry season to augment the water supply for the southern part of Grenada. The lake is situated at the crater of an extinct volcano. Lately, there seems to be more weeds than water. Chrislina John has this story.
One of the island's most popular attraction sites is seemingly disappearing under shrubs. Over the years, it was subjected to reeds, taking over more than half of the volume of the 36-acre area, reducing it to less than 12 acres to date. One visitor to the island, Jody from Connecticut, USA, says she found Grenada to be a safe haven at this time and applauds government's efforts in the control of COVID-19 on the island. This was her observation as she traversed the island, making a few stops.
Actually been, as far north as Saltaire, I guess that's as far as you can go, and then now I'm staying near Morne Rouge, and I also spent some time in Carriacou, and every place is so different than the other, and it's all gorgeous, and amazing people. I've met really amazing, beautiful people. Well, my take is the lake is beautiful, the area is beautiful. I was curious about what I thought was marshes, and I was surprised at how small the lake was, and now I'm realizing that the weeds are kind of encroaching on the lake. So I hope that there will be a way to help repair that because it's absolutely beautiful.
Taxi operator Bernard Latouche says over the years of carrying people to this site in particular, the volume of the lake has decreased drastically.
Half of the lake is already covered with bush and shrubs and whatever. So I think some work needs to be done. It should have some maintenance crew, yes, to have it cleaned up ever so often, which I don't think if you do a good cleanup now, it would last a long time.
A special machine known as a Weedo was brought in 2019, provided by the International Water Stewardship Program, or IWASP. It was meant to operate with a mowing and/or root raking technique to clear the reeds. However, Minister for Tourism, Clarice Modeste Cohen, says with the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic and NAWASA making use of the water supply, the process of cleaning the lake was halted. Gave the assurance that work should begin in a few days.
Into the COVID period, that really did not help, but the Ministry of Tourism, in collaboration with NAWASA, they are at the point of resuming that work, or really starting up, because it hadn't started. There was just training as to how to use the equipment. But to put that training now into effect, I want to believe that within the next few days, hopefully by Monday, they're just tying up some ends. Hopefully by Monday, we should be able to see some work start at Grenada.
There were reports that the machine were out of commission. However, the tourism minister says she has no knowledge of that being so. She is hopeful that the next few days will be used to sort out any obstacles before the commencement of work on Monday. The process will be undertaken by the Ministry of Tourism and the National Water and Sewage Authority. Christelina John.
Jude Bartholomew is the newly elected President General of the Grenada Union of Teachers. He defeated his competitor Connie McQuilkin by 410 votes. The first Deputy President General remains Justin Courtney, unopposed. The second Deputy President is Franklin Marshall. The General Secretary remains Tessa McQuilkin, unopposed. And Assistant General Secretary is Melissa St. Rose. Treasurer is Gordon Welsh and 13 trustees. Returning officer for Wednesday's duty election was Mr. Ronald Simon. Bus operators in the south of the island enjoyed a day off the road to socialize and are encouraging other bus associations throughout the country to do the same. More in this report.
One Grandance bus operator is finding bus rotation to be the best move in achieving a greater income. Bus rotation was introduced by the National Buses Association back in June 2020 to enable all operators an equal opportunity to earn an income. Some have proven this decision to be worthwhile, saving them on fuel, wear and tear on their vehicle parts, and in turn generate more money. This operator says he was hesitant at first to accept the change, but now has no regrets.
4 weeks prior to today, I used to be very delinquent, I didn't really want to join the rotation for certain particular reasons, you understand. But over the past few weeks, I've been working and going home with very little, which I can't really sustain my family, and myself. So the fact that the rotation come back on stream, it's a plus. It's a plus for me. Right now, I could say, I've seen something which is 100% better than what I was seeing before. And me and my family, I can sustain my family in a very, very viable way right now. Yeah. So the rotation, with no doubt, the rotation is the way to go right now.
On Wednesday, the members of the Grandance Buses Association gathered at Carmahan Park in Grandance, St. George for a day of fun and relaxation. President of the Grandance Bus Association, Garth Woodruff, says it's meant to forge a greater bond between operators. The GBA is also involved in community ventures, which they plan to continue in weeks ahead.
Here at Carmahan Park today to just to socialize and more or less fellowship while we have our day off. It's been a while since we had any sort of outing, so today we use it as an opportunity to get to know each other better and to build stronger unity among the members of the association. Very satisfied with the turnout. It's the first time we are trying something like this. I am really happy with the turnout today, and it gives me hope to continue doing initiatives like this among the membership of the association. We have a rotation going on right now, which is 100% necessary, and this is our way of finding other stuff to do, cleaning up the communities and painting pedestrian crossings and stuff like that. So we will be doing more in time to come once we keep the rotation going.
Christelina John, GBN News.
One resident of Mirabel St. Andrew was left terrified after she had an encounter with a large spider that left her concerned for the safety of her family. Trelana Charles reports.
Monday night, Teresha Antwine of Maribor St. Andrew was laying on her bed with her children when she noticed a large 8-legged visitor. The furry spider pictured here was light brown in color with a black underbelly and a bright orange spot towards its jaws. She spoke to GBN about the encounter.
I just see this spider, this big spider coming from the top of the roof and coming down the board. And I called my boyfriend and say, well, look at the spider. He said, me I called. I said, look at the spider. But when you see the size of the spider, he said, no. Well, we bought some white sand. And I guess that spider come with the white sand because she said a few days after she bought the white sand, she got one walked inside the house over it was over her head, and she boxed it out of the fall.
Although Antoine said she had never before seen such a critter, local veterinarian Dr. Kenrith Carter, upon inspecting the photographs of the arachnid, said it is commonly found in Grenada.
So the photo sent is of an adult male tarantula. They're pretty common in Grenada in more forested and agriculture area, more around St. David's, St. Andrews, have been found in Victoria, St. Patrick's, not too common in St. George's. They normally burrow in holes. The female would burrow, the males would be wandering around. That's why it's an adult male. It was most likely wandering around. The mating season is about this time of year, so the males will wander around looking for a female.
He said there was no need to panic as the tarantulas are generally not dangerous to humans.
Are they dangerous to humans? Generally not. All spiders are venomous. The amount of venom and the ability to affect a human from a sting would vary. We have no spider species that would that is having a potent enough venom to kill a human in Grenada. However, if someone has allergies to spider bite or a bug bite, they will react by anaphylactic reaction.
Unfortunately, the tarantula was killed, but in the future they can simply be released outside. Trelawna Charles, GBN News.
The Caribbean Games 2021 to be hosted in Bermuda has been moved from July to August. The 2021 Caribbean Games had been initially moved to July from their traditional Easter weekend date due to the global COVID-19 pandemic. The North American, Central American, and Caribbean Athletic Association, NACAC, and the local organizing committee made the announcement on Thursday. Jared Joseph reports.
The dates for the 2021 Caribbean Games have been changed for a second time. The Regional Junior Track and Field Championship, which will celebrate its 49th edition, was first rescheduled from April 3rd to the 5th to July 2nd to the 4th in Bermuda, will now be staged from August 13th to the 15th. NACAC President Mike Sands made the announcement, citing the CXC exams being scheduled for June to July as a rationale for the change. The pandemic forced the cancellation of the 2020 Caribbean Games in Bermuda. However, the Bermuda National Athletics Association has remained committed to hosting the event. Chair of the LOC and President of the Bermuda National Athletics Association, Donna Rayner, says they immediately began discussing options upon learning the dates for CXC.
There were two dates that were banded around, May 28th to the 30th, which I advised was definitely out because that was still too close to the original date. And at that point in time, I still don't think we would have enough information regarding, the COVID, where we are, and so on and so forth. So we all agreed. We talked about then the August 13th to the 15th.
Rainier says it is yet to be determined whether spectators will be allowed due to the fluidity of the COVID-19 situation. However, the new date gives organizers ample time to implement measures.
We all agreed that the 13th to the 15th, if this date doesn't work, then we would have to look at canceling the games, and no one wanted to cancel. We then discussed with our LOC, and there was some general agreement, but recognizing this will not be easy. The Minister and PS of Youth, Culture and Sport were then notified. I received a note from the President, Seb Coe of World Athletics this morning, and he gave us his full support, even though we know the World Under-20 Championships will happen the following week after Carifta.
Athletes and coaching staff will be placed in a bubble and tested daily. I am Jared Joseph for GBN Sports.
I'm reaching my dreams with GOT. They're the ones for me. I'm reaching my dreams with GOT. They're the ones for me. Since 1983, they've been serving the country, and we like all their financing, giving the people what they want, what they need, what they love. Come and join the family that's here for you all the way, from birth to graduation, your first job to your home and your car through your golden years.
The GT Credit Union has been actively supporting nation building through its many sponsorships and programs, including financial literacy quiz, Pass the Torch Calypso program, junior cooperatives in secondary schools, CPEA, and the TAMCC grants. The credit union has helped many people make their dreams come true. Let them help you with yours. You don't have to be a teacher to be a member. So what are you waiting for?
GUT Credit Union, it's where you belong.
Every action we take impacts the lives of others around us. The Grenlec Community Partnership Initiative, GCPI, has been working with Grenadian organizations to impact communities directly. Giving back to communities we serve is fundamental to the way we do business. And every year, more lives are touched across Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique in education, sports, health, infrastructure, social services, and beyond. Grenlec, energizing our Grenada.
Do you know what time it is? You guessed right, it's detox time again. At Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Purchase our 7-day cleansing pack for only $500. Includes everything you need for a complete total body cleanse. Cleanse your blood, kidney, liver, and colon. This cleanse will help you lighten up and get rid of the excess. Also available are our special product detox combo pack for only $100. Try our single detox products starting from $40. Check us out now. Belmont St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area, or call us on 231-6642, 449-7753, or 418-7115. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. Detox, your way to health.
Sissons truly cares about your paint job. We give you the results you wish for. Sissons understands your needs and responds to it.
Get the finish you want with quality that is unmatched. Nothing compares to Sissons paint.
No matter your need, at home or on that industrial project,
Sissons has the perfect color solution for you.
Sissons paints for good looks that last. Available at all major hardware retailers island-wide.
We are all essential in the fight against COVID-19.
At Courts, we're doing our part and we encourage you to stay at home, stay safe, and shop online at www.shopcourts.com.
For added convenience, our Courts online customers will receive free delivery and get up to 20% off televisions, appliances, and homewares. Plus, if you shop with Ready Finance, you will pay nothing down for 60 days. Now, you can stay home, shop online, and save.
Remember, do the essential. Wear a mask, wash your hands, practice social distancing, stop the spread.
Ultratech gasoline and diesel, available only at Rubis stations.
We understand it can be hard getting from the bus terminal to the Kirani James Athletic Stadium just to get your fresh fruits and veggies. But guess what? Your troubles are over. Enjoy a free bus shuttle from the bus terminal to the temporary market at the Kirani James Stadium
every Friday and Saturday until the end of March.
Let us buy local, eat local, and support our local market vendors.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, Daisy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex, or give them a call, 440-1015 or 440-1016. Or check out their website, hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
Greetings. This is Eugene Gattuso, and I'm inviting you to join me every Saturday morning from 10 to 12 on K105 starting March 20th as we bring you the brand new program, Grenada's Music to the World. We'll be featuring music from all genres by Grenadian artists at home and abroad. If you're a Grenadian artist and would like to get your music featured on the program, please send it to grenadasmusictotheworld@gmail.com. Celebrating our own Saturday mornings 10 to 12 Classic Radio beginning March 20th. See you then.
You know, one day I woke up and they painted a set of pedestrian crossing all along the streets. Nobody told us how to use that thing properly.
I know how.
You're serious?
Every safe, good driver knows about these things. As a driver, you have to be very attentive. You know you're coming up close to a pedestrian cross, you start slowing down immediately, looking to see if there's any pedestrian on the side getting ready to cross. If there is, you stop on the line that is a certain distance before the crosswalk. Then you would see the pedestrian put their hands out, looking directly at you, indicating that they are going to cross. And only when you have come to a complete stop, that is when they will quickly and safely cross to the other side. And then you continue happily on your journey.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact, wait for pedestrian to cross. Then you happily continue on your journey.
This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
COVID-19 spreads from person to person through the droplets that are produced when someone coughs or sneezes, which makes it easy to spread between people in close contact. Now let's get prepared to stay healthy.
To reduce your chance of catching or spreading COVID-19, practice these simple everyday preventative measures. Droplets can also land on surfaces, so ensure that you wash your hands frequently for a minimum of 20 seconds or sing the happy birthday song twice. Avoid touching your face, especially your eyes, nose, and mouth. If soap and water are not readily available, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with an alcohol content between 60 and 90%. 70% is ideal.
When you cough or sneeze, cover your nose and mouth with a flexed elbow or a tissue. Dispose of the tissue immediately and then wash your hands. If you notice someone has a fever and cough or other symptoms of respiratory illness, avoid close contact when possible.
Welcome back to Good Morning Grenada. It's 20 and a half minutes after 7 o'clock. Those of you who need to get to work at 8 o'clock, you have just about 40 minutes to do so on time. So hustle, hustle, hustle. If you're still skylacking, you should be speeding up at the present moment. Welcome back. Those of you who are just joining us, happy to have you. And I have learned that our YouTube channel is back up and running. Good morning to all the viewers on the GBN Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel. Happy to have you back, all 70-something morning if you currently tuned on. Bless up all your whole self. I missed y'all. All right, let's get into the discussion. This morning I have joining me virtually are two representatives of the Grenada Association of Professional Social Workers, the president, Mrs. Kalisha Purcell Charles, and the public relations officer, Melise Ogilvie, and they're here to tell us about Social Workers Day, which will be recognized tomorrow, God willing, March 16th. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Blossom. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining us. It's Social Work Day tomorrow, God willing. It's an annual event. I remember hosting previous programs on it as we continue to recognize the great work that social workers do in Grenada. So first, let's start with the 2021 celebrations with a difference because of COVID-19. What's the theme for 2021 and the significance of it to the local association?
Well, the theme this year is from an African philosophy, Ubuntu, and it means I am because we are. And really what that speaks about, it really gives a clear vision of what social work really is, the core of social work, that a person is a person through others. I am because we are because you am. It's about humanitarian, and it's about giving and learning and showing love and trust. And right now, it's slipping my mind, but I believe that Nelson Mandela would have said that we are human beings through the humanity of others. And that is really what social work is, and that is what Ubuntu really represents. And in order for us as social workers or as human beings to be able to give back to others and to recognize the struggles and challenges of others, we have to be able to be reflective, to feel our emotions, to feel the tough emotions like our prejudice, our bias, anger, hatred. We have to be able to dig deep within ourselves and recognize what's going on within ourselves in order to help others. So I think that is a lot of what social workers are supposed to do in terms of providing best practice and really reaching out to humanity. Ms. Ogilvie?
Yes, and in a time like this, the theme is very timely because Ubuntu, I am because we are, social solidarity. It's a clarion call to all, not just social workers, but to everyone who meet the needs of others in different professional arenas, that we are in this time, in this season together, right? So we support each other, we guide each other, and we can't do this. We cannot overcome the impact of the pandemic on people. And we as social workers have been impacted as well. We are considered essential workers. And so we cannot do this together. So this is why the theme is very timely today.
Tell me about the work that social workers do here in Grenada, how far-reaching it is, how all-encompassing it is, and the effects that social workers have had and the work of social workers have had on the people who need the service.
Go ahead. Right. So social work in Grenada, it's limited, but it's not. It's limited to, we see social workers. We have many social workers within the Ministry of Social Development. We have social workers within the Mental Health Service. We have social workers within Child Protection and Juvenile Justice. And so, but social work is a very broad, it's multidimensional. So you see social work here limited to those arenas, but social workers can be found in sitting amongst policymakers. You can find social workers championing for climate justice, and humanitarian rights, human rights, and so. But within in our local context, social workers they work really hard. We have to recognize the work of social workers in Grenada. The resources are limited, and so they have to be creative and innovative in how they meet the needs. And the needs are becoming more complex. So that means that the requirement on social work, because it's hard. So we have to appreciate their work. Some social workers dip in, and not some, many, if not all, have contribute financially to the needs of people because of our limited resources within the local context. You have persons, so we have a social worker in the prison system, working with them to rehabilitate them. And so what we do as social workers, it's really facilitate individual change, social and individual change. We cannot save all. We would like to believe that. But also it has to be personal responsibility. But what we do as well is to empower people to believe in themselves that they can do the change, right? And so we facilitate and walk with them through that process. Some social workers are clinical, like Mrs. Purcell Charles, and so they do counseling and clinical therapeutic work in intervention. So we work really hard here, and sometimes we don't. Social work is not a profession that we get recognized, and so, but amongst ourselves, we recognize the work of our colleagues.
Well, I am going to just piggyback on that. I'm going to say one of my biases here. I think we have the most wonderful, rewarding career. I don't think there's any career that can be as rewarding as a social worker. I mean, Ms. Ogilvie, speak about our diversity. Social workers can fit into almost any organization, association, company. I mean, we go from administrative, as she said, to clinical, to policymakers. I mean, the core is for us, a lot of the times is for us to empower, to educate, to equip. I mean, in terms of changing legislation, basically eradicating systemic injustices. That is social work. It's about humanitarian work. It's about helping others. It's about sometimes putting others first, you know. So, and the work that is being done in Grenada, as Ms. Ogilvie said, is through the Ministry of Social Development and many, many other NGOs that are providing services in terms of assisting families, the justice system. There's many areas in Grenada where we find social workers. Do we need more social workers? Yes, we need a whole lot more social workers, right? Because again, we continue to have many social issues. And so some of the social issues that are really plaguing, and it's really in the fabric of our society, and we need more hands on deck in terms of eradicating some of these terrible social issues that we're faced with.
How can one become a social worker and part of the organization? Like you said, you need more social workers. How can you reach out to say, okay, I'm doing this on a small scale, but I want to, maybe grow in the profession? As well as, how can somebody who thinks that they need the help of a social worker, how can they also tap into the services that you provide?
I want to say that, first of all, TAMCC, or local college, has an associate degree in social work, right? That can be a start, because not everyone would be able to, go overseas or maybe at the time afford to do a university degree. The next step, and there have been many students who do that. The University of the West Indies have a bachelor's degree in social work. Yes, you may choose to go internationally if your finances allow that, if it is your desire. So that is the step. But we do have people who have a degree in psychology and sociology, and so who practice social work. And their support, their interventions are recognized, but it's different. The training is different. It means that there has to be a crossover from the psychological theory into the whole practice of social work, which, takes into, yes, there are theories associated with our practice, but it's different. The training is different. But that doesn't mean that someone who started in sociology and psychology cannot do social work, but there needs to be some continuous development in the area. As an organization, We are on Facebook, so it's GAPSWA. You can indicate to us if you are, so it's GAPSW, so Grenada Association of Professional Social Workers, whether you are interested in joining the association. The benefit of joining the association is that you have a caliber of people who can support you. So if you have complex needs, a complex case, and you may not know, maybe sometimes the organization, we've tried everything to work with this client, but we need to see some change. And so you have a group of people who, with various backgrounds, various experiences locally and internationally, who can contribute to your development in that professional development in that way. There's support, there's guidance. We as a organization, I have been with the organization for maybe about 8 to 10 years, maybe around there or less. But every year we are committed to professional development. So we bring in recognized people with background. Last 1 year, we had someone with background in sexual abuse, working with sexual offenders, because that is a specialized area that few people in Grenada had experience. We had someone who had an experience in the UK. She was social worker of the year because of her experience in working with child protection and so forth. So we are committed to supporting each other professionally and growing professionally. Yes.
Yeah, I know you said it perfectly. I just wanted to really reiterate that social work is a profession. And Ms. Ogilvie had said earlier that it's not recognized. It may not be recognized, obviously, in certain parts of the Caribbean. It is recognized worldwide, globally. We need more recognition globally also. However, it's a profession that really provide a great deal of support to humanity. However, it is important that persons that want to become social workers be educated in social work and is provided supervision, because the most important thing is not just providing a service, but providing best practice. Okay, so I encourage persons that are interested in social work to really get in. TAMCC has an associate degree program. Attend TAMCC. Move on if you can to the UE program. Or now the fact that most universities and colleges are virtual, you can actually stay right here in Grenada and attend many programs, right? And I encourage everyone that is, again, if you want support in terms of which direction you should go in terms of your education as it relates to social work, tap into GAPSWA. Speak to to the members of GAPSWA. Many members of GAPSWA are persons that have been educated and have had many years of experience, and we can guide you. So we really encourage young people to come on board, to reach out, to connect with us, be it through education or difficulties or challenges in the community. We're here, we're the association, we're here, we're part of the International Federation of Social Workers. So we have good network. So just please tap in and connect with us.
Getting to the recognition that I think the social workers would really like to have, or on a bigger scale, I think is because many people, they're not aware of the importance of social workers and social work. If somebody was to ask, what do you think is the most important part of being a social worker or of social work, what would you say?
Tyson, with Charles.
What is, that's a difficult, it's easy, but it's quite a difficult, because it's just so, but what's the, I would say, I don't know.
I have so many things that I could say. Can I say that I truly feel that social workers are born; they're not made.
Oh, yes, right? Yes.
So there is an innate passion to serve. because social work really and truly, we don't get paid enough, right? But it's a serving, a helping profession. So if it doesn't mean that you, a social worker, cannot be made, right? But I feel that the instances, if you don't have that underlying passion to empower, equip, support people, then it will become a job. And so to go the extra mile, right, it will be much more difficult. Doesn't mean that you can't or you won't do it, but it's just you wouldn't be moved to do it. You wouldn't be moved to check up on a client, even if it's weekend. And yes, you need to spend time with your family, but something about what that client said on Friday bothered you, and you just need to check in. So this is So maybe
excellent. Social workers, we're helping professional, but we don't get, our brains don't switch off. Social worker brain do not switch off. You are constantly thinking about, how do I empower? How do I create? We're a change agent. And that is something, Ms. Ogilvie, you may say that you're not saying that a social worker cannot be made. I'm not sure if someone could be encouraged in the direction of social work, maybe, but I think we have to be born with it. It has to be part of you. You know, that part of you that feels, I need to help. I want to help. How can I create change? How can I help this person help themselves? It's something that we're constantly thinking about. You can't, there isn't a day that I don't get into my car and drive and not see something within a community, or not see someone in a community that I'm not wondering, how can I help? What can I do? What is happening? This is wrong. You know, it's just, you're constantly on all the time. That is what social work is. You don't cut off because of your own, and when I say cut off, we have to self-care. It's important, especially in social work, that we don't burn out, that we self-care, we take care of ourselves. But we can't help but wonder, how do we create change for our communities and for individuals? That is just who we are. And my thing is, if you can switch off and not really be concerned about humanity, you're not a social worker. You're not.
I can relate. Being a journalist, I could relate. Always on. You're off, but you're always on. I know the feeling. What are the activities you have to commemorate Social Workers Day 2021? I know it's COVID times and we have to adjust. So how are we adjusting but still celebrating?
Well, yes, due to the pandemic, there's a lot of activities that we would have wanted to be part of, but we're not because of the limitations. However, we do have World Social Work Day 2021 seminar that will be held this Thursday from 10 to 12. And Blossom, I can send you the flyer so you can post that for us. Everybody is welcome. And the theme that we're focusing on is the international theme of Ubuntu. I am because we are. So we have three wonderful speakers. Larry Rodriguez, he's the president of the International Federation of Social Workers, Latin America and Caribbean region. We have Ivan Rosa. He is the professor of social work and his specialty is forensic social work. So I know a lot of persons are not familiar with forensic social work. And we have Neil Abel, who is a professor and director of international programs in the College of Social Work at the Florida State University. So we have three really fabulous, empowering presenters that will be joining us on Thursday. We also have a workshop for early years educators that will be happening on Friday. And I believe tomorrow we have, we'll be doing donations to a food to the Breakfast Club that has been, we were given the complimentary food items from IGA supermarket. So those are the three main things that we're doing this year. Ms. Ogilvie and I are also visiting T.A. Marisha Community College and meeting with the social work students and really just gathering and having a group in recognition of social work and really listening to what social work means to them and, share with them what we see social workers are and really encouraging them to continue their education in social work.
Somebody on Facebook is inquiring how many social workers Grenada has right now.
I don't think we can answer that number. I know within the Ministry of Social Development, within each parish, there is 1 or 2 assigned. And as I said, we have social workers in the hospital. We have in the Mount Gay Hospital. We have in different areas, we have a Child Protection Authority. And so I wouldn't be able to give you a number at this point.
Have an average, a guesstimation, over 100, under 5,000?
No. I would say we're at least 100. Yes.
Any final thoughts that you'd like to share with us before we end?
I would just want to encourage people, even though we're not social workers, we're not all social workers, but the theme is something that we can adopt in our interactions, in our daily lives, right? I know the pandemic has affected us greatly, and people are probably more considering their own needs as opposed to the collective needs. But it is a call for a collective responsibility to care for each other, to care for ourselves, but also to care for each other, look out for each other. And so I just want to encourage us to do that, to continue to do that, to look out for our brothers and sisters.
Brothers and sisters.
Mrs. Charles, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I just want us to really continue to share in that African philosophy, Ubuntu, because I think it really goes to the core of what would make this world a better place. I am because we are because you are. We are just one people. We have to help each other. We are each other's brothers and sisters, And I just found the quote Nelson Mandela stated that we are human only through the humanity of others. That if we are to accomplish anything in the world, it will, in equal measure, be due to the work and achievement of others. And I join with my colleagues, my peers, social workers around the world, that we need to continue to mobilize together and really continue to create change in a world that is really having a terrible time. And to my Grenadian people, I wish you well.
Ladies, thank you both so much for sharing thoughts with us as we celebrate Social Work Day tomorrow, God willing. Look forward to joining you in the celebration. Remember to send me the poster so that I can share the flyer that I can share with our viewers and listeners. Thank you both so much. Congratulations on tomorrow's celebrations. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay,
bye. Have a good day. All right.
Bye, you too.
Representatives of the Grenada Association of Professional Social Workers, the Public Relations Officer, Melissa Ogilvie, and the President, Kalisha Purcell Charles. We thank them both. Let's go to a quick break, and when we come back, we join Just School Media for this morning's Traffic Cam. This is Good Morning Grenada, Classic GBN Hot 98. We'll be right back.
Do you know what time it is? You guessed right, it's detox time again at Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. Purchase our 7-day cleansing pack for only $500. Includes everything you need for a complete total body cleanse. Cleanse your blood, kidney, liver, and colon. This cleanse will help you lighten up and get rid of the excess. Also available are our special product detox combo pack for only $100. Try our single detox products starting from $40. Check us out now. Belmont St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area, or call us on 231-6642, 449-7753, or 418-7115. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. Detox, your way to health.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform. Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
Get Rubigas. Get cooking. Rubigas, clean, safe, and reliable LPG is the perfect solution for your commercial and everyday needs. For cooking at home or barbecuing, choose Rubigas LPG cylinders. Available in a variety of sizes from 20 to 100 pound cylinders. Rubigas LPG, clean, safe, reliable. Are you cooking with Rubigas? Get Rubis, get going.
We now join Just School Media for this morning's traffic cam. He's making his way to the south of the island for Monday morning rush hour. Let's see what's happening on the outside.
Out of vehicles while you drive. Advise your passengers not to throw garbage outside of the vehicle as they traverse the nation's road. Sometimes it's so unsightly when you're walking and you watch the side of the road and you see the amount of cans, boxes, bottles that are being thrown out by motorists, by drivers, as well as passengers. So we are urging you this week to keep the nation clean by allowing you, the driver, the passengers, to properly dispose of the garbage. Not throwing it out of the window while you're driving, but disposing it in a designated bin. Hold on to it and dispose of it properly, because over time we'll just make our nation's side of the road looking unsightly. We are responsible to keep Grenada clean. Now we are in Wall Street, at the Wall Street roundabout. Not much traffic at the moment. Heading up to Excel Plaza, and we see that still there is not much traffic this time at the Grandlands Road. Not congestion, just a smooth flow of traffic. Smooth flow. No bumper to bumper this morning, just a smooth flow of traffic. Welcome one and all. This is your Monday morning traffic cam. Just School Media in collaboration with GBN. We take a drive down to Grandlands this morning. So to all the listeners of GBN TV, GBN Radio, the viewers, this is your Monday morning traffic cam. Have a wonderful week. And remember, this week is about keeping Grenada clean. Drivers, passengers, do not dispose of the garbage out of a moving vehicle. Dispose of it properly at a designated bin. We are responsible to keep our nations clean. And happy birthday, Bernadette, from all of us at GBN and Just School. Happy birthday, Bernadette. Outside Sugar Mill roundabout, the junction to go into Lansapil, and we see that there's a lot of traffic coming down from Mount Hartman. A lot of traffic coming down from Mount Hartman into Grandlands. So you can expect traffic congestion. Motorists that are coming into Grandlands or the Morris Bishop Highway via Woodlands, Grandlands Valley, expect traffic delay because there's a lot of traffic coming from Grandlands Valley into Mount Hartman. and onto the Morris Bishop Highway. A lot of traffic. This has been your Monday morning traffic cam to take you all the way from Grandance all the way up to Mount Hartman Junction. Motorists, if you want to use a back road, you can use the Montooth back road to avoid that traffic congestion at the Lansapine roundabout. You can swing into the Montooth byway, and then you can go in and come down just over the Republic Bank roundabout. So motorists, instead of congested in traffic going down to Lansapine Junction, you can use the Montooth by road and cut right across and end up in front of the Republic Bank roundabout. So as a motorist, as a driver, sometimes you have to think ahead. Think of your destination and think of an alternative route that you can take to get to your destination. So just an advice to motorists, you're coming through Grandance Valley to get into Morris Bishop Highway, you can take the Montooth by road and bypass that traffic congestions right in front of the Lansapine Junction on a morning. You can use the Montooth by road. So that's what I'm doing. To bypass the traffic, I'm using the Montooth by road this morning because I see there's a lot of traffic outside from Grandance Valley into Mount Hartman to Lansapine Junction. So I took the Montooth by road to avoid the traffic congestion. So welcome on all the viewers of GBN TV, GBN Radio. This is your Monday morning traffic cam. And we came all the way from Kirani James Boulevard down to Grandance. And we saw there's a smooth flow of traffic coming out and into Grandance. However, we went up to Mount Hartman and we see there is a lot of traffic coming from Grandance Valley into Mount Hartman and onto the Morris Bishop Highway, and there's congestion at the junction to Lansapine. So I was advising motorists that coming through Woodlands, they can use the Montooth by road and cut across and end up right in front of the Republic Bank roundabout to avoid the traffic congestion that is at the Lansapine junction. So this is your Monday morning traffic cam, Monday, March 15th, 2021. See folks, as a driver, to avoid the traffic congestion outside of Mount Hartman, outside of Flow main office at the Lansapine Junction, I took the Montooth byway, and as I say, voila, I'm out of the Republic Bank roundabout. And I can now travel at ease down the Morris Bishop Highway. Because I think ahead and I thought of a way to get to my destination as fast as possible. Also being safe. So remember, we are the Morris Bishop Highway on the Monday morning traffic cam. So good morning one and all, good morning. And you see there is a smooth flow of traffic going down the Morris Bishop Highway this morning. Smooth flow of traffic, no congestions. The only congestion I saw this morning is outside a Flow main office or opposite Hubbard's Hardware. There is congestion coming into the Lansapine roundabout. So in order for motorists to avoid the congestion at the Lansapine roundabout, you can divert, take the Montu by road and come through Montu and end up right in front of Republic Bank roundabout at ease to avoid the traffic congestion coming through Mount Hartman.
Every Monday and Wednesday at 7:45 a.m. we bring you Traffic Cam, a collaboration with GBN and Just School Media. And that will bring us to the end of the televised portion of Good Morning Grenada. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Lotto players. This morning there was no playway result for the evening draw from Saturday, but I've done my research, and the Lotto draw, the playway draw on Saturday evening draw, the winning number was 4, Dream Symbol Crossroads. Again, the playway evening draw, the winning number was 4, Dream Symbol Crossroad. That is for my Lotto players. The website, neither the NLA Facebook page had the information, so I had to go searching for it. So hopefully you're still tuned in and got the results. Have yourselves a safe and productive, marvelous, magnificent, soon-to-be memorable Monday. Enjoy it to the fullest. COVID-19 protocols in full effect. We have 2 active COVID-19 cases. Continue to do what you need to do to stay safe. Bye-bye, everybody, as we prepare to join the BBC for the 8 a.m. newscast. Bye.